welcome to my channel. My name is Lindsay. If you're new here, nice to meet you. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. It's nice to see you. Anyways, so first off, I want to say sorry that I had to make my last video private. Turns out I am not perfect and I did not get all my information right, which I do apologize for. I really try to get my videos as accurate as possible, even though I am a newbie at this, and you know, it happens, but I just privated the video and decided to make this one today. So basically, I have to be a little bit more vague in my information just because that is how things work in this industry, as far as like locations and properties and stuff like that. So that's just how it is. I will still try to be as descriptive as possible. But yeah, so I guess in today's video, I'm just gonna go go over the locations that I looked at on Saturday and a possible new location we're looking at on Thursday. So anyways, let's just jump right in, or actually, let's just skate right into the video. So on Saturday, I toured what I will call location A. It's located in downtown Watertown, kind of, I don't want to say right in the heart of downtown, but just like skirting downtown, kind of by where our railroad tracks are at. But it is a big building. It's about 32,000 square feet, and it's a, you know, I have been there before. Since on this journey, I kind of look at it with new eyes because I have a vision in mind. So basically, you know, whenever I look at locations, you always have to look at the dimensions, you know, and the configuration of the layout. How is like this size of rink going to fit in this size of building when it's set up this certain way? So that is kind of what I'm looking for when I go into these buildings. And since I had been in this one before, I was already a little bit familiar with it, so that makes it a little easier. And then some other things when you are looking at buildings for a skating rink is, are there columns or beams that are going to be in your way? Granted, I have seen skating rinks that just pop up, you know, because people want a rink like, you know, ASAP, that there are columns and beams, but I am going for a more open concept. And so with the activities I want to have at the rink, I have to make sure that I can get the proper support for the roof by figuring out construction wise how I can make that happen to remove those beams and still have it structurally supported. So yeah, I mean, it was a good tour. It's nice to look at it in new eyes. Some of the pros about it is that it's big, it's downtown, and there is room for ample parking, which is great because I hope to fill this rink with so many skaters and people who want to play games and have fun and just have a nice get-together with their friends or their family or whatever they're doing. So unfortunately, there's always cons whenever you go into these buildings. Some of the cons are that it is kind of an old building, not in a bad sense, but more like historic-wise. So that can make some challenges for like electrical things, plumbing, heat, or, you know, heat and conditioning, HVAC, that kind of stuff. It does need some fixing up because of that, but again, if you see the possibilities there, you can make it happen if you want. And then the other con would be, it is kind of a weird layout. So I would have a lot of homework to do in terms of how I want my, entertainment center set up. So those are some of the pros and cons of location A. And now let's go and talk about location B. So again, with location B, it is someplace I have been before. I've spent some time there, done some activities there. And if you remember stuff from my last video, granted, it only had about 100 views or so when I took it down. Just don't say anything in the comments because I want to respect all parties in this situation. But it is a place I had been before. It's nice. It is kind of newer than the location A. And it is downtown, which is good. But the only thing about businesses downtown are parking. So Watertown is really trying to make a concerted effort to bring businesses downtown, which is awesome. But parking is the one thing that kind of concerns me because people always, want to park easily and accessibly, which I totally understand. Granted, it's not like there isn't any parking. It's just mostly on the street and maybe some in the alleys. So I would have to, figure that out. But again, where there's a will, there is a way. And if people want to come to your facility, they won't really worry about parking. They'll pretty much figure it out. So, and after going to Salem Fun Center in Ohio, which they were downtown also, and I believe the streets were much more narrow than they are in Watertown. So I was like, if this Salem Fun Center can be in their downtown with little to no areas for parking, which seems crazy, then I could do it if I needed to. The good thing about this building, again, is that it's big. I think this one is about 20,000 square feet, which again is like a good size. It is downtown, which again, Watertown is making a concerted effort to try and build our downtown, so that is also a great thing. And it is a little bit newer of a building, so that would make things easier to upgrade, upkeep. It does have dropped ceilings, which I appreciate. Granted, on the skating floor, I think I would have to take away some of that drop ceiling because it's almost too low. And you don't want it too low because then where all your lights and your speakers going to hang from. They're going to be right in the skating floor. And we don't want that. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at, I have my notes right here because I didn't want to mess this video up and have to do it again. So some of the cons, or I guess you could have it as a positive too, is that it is 2 levels. So I guess I would think of that as a con because with skates, and if you want to go on more than one activity, it's not a good thing to walk up and down stairs. So I'm not quite sure if we could have the stairs or if we would have to turn it into a ramp. If you go look at my picking up 350 plus pairs or 400, I can't remember the video title, but if you go look at the video, which I'll put in a card here, they have a big old ramp. And I mean, it is big. So I don't know if we could turn those stairs into a ramp to make it safer and more accessible. And also it would make it more handicap accessible also because I don't know if there's any elevators in that building to take people up and down from the 1st and 2nd level anyways. So that's another thing to think about. And I don't want to say a con is no parking because there is parking. I just maybe want to say it's more limited in the parking, which again, it's not a deal breaker. People will find a place to park if they want to come to your business. When I worked on Kemp Avenue downtown, in downtown Watertown. There was a restaurant across the street called Pastimes. So good. They had such good food. They're closed now, but they were busy come lunchtime. We would have people come in from the salon because I worked right across the street at the hair salon, and it was so busy. There was almost no parking. Unfortunately, people complained because that was just the situation and we couldn't help it. But yeah, I mean, it's not a deal breaker, and people want to come to your business anyways. If they're drawn to it, if they want to do the activity, then they'll find a way, you know, whether there's parking or not. People find a way. And I guess it's typical of a lot of downtowns to have limited parking. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Location C just kind of popped up on my radar here. It's not something I was very adamant about going to, but after talking to a few more people and just really kind of trying to expand my thought process on this and not be so much of a critic, you know, I was like, okay, let's go check it out. What's the harm? You know, there are pros to it, like it's in a high traffic area, there is parking, and it is relatively more affordable than some of the other properties. But again, there are cons to that, and I can't exactly go into too much detail. But, you know, don't judge a book by its cover just because you think it's a certain way. It doesn't ever hurt to go look at something that you might think is way out of your radar. It could totally be in your radar, and you don't even know it. So we are going to go look at that location on Thursday, and I'm pretty excited for it. Hopefully, all these location tours are giving me a good idea of what I am looking for in locations. Granted, I will have to do a construction either way because I have to you know, have an office, I have to have an employee break area, I have to have or I would like to have a few private party rooms available for people to rent, because I know that's a very needed thing around my town here. Well, that is all I have for today's video. I am home today because my daughter is sick, and I could not go to school this morning because she was sick. Everyone in my town literally has influenza A. I had it a few weeks ago, and that's why that's her. And that's why I had not been able to film or have any energy or anything, any drive to do anything really for, like, I think it was like another month. Because then before that, I had that sinus infection and sore throat, and then that led into influenza A. So I've been sick for nearly 1 to 2 months on and off. I've had my good days, and I've had a lot of like crappy feeling yucky days with no energy. So I'm happy to be back. I hope that you'll stick around with me. I do plan to do some more videos. Put in the comments, you know, anything you want to see like a video on, I will try and make one. I am skating in a game against the Fargo Derby team in let's see, 18 days now. And so I'm really excited for that. I'm upping my training. I want to do a good job for skating with the Grand Forks team. And yeah, so I think that's all I have for today's video. I want to give a special shout out to my husband. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, dear. I hope you're having a wonderful day at work, even though you're probably really tired. And I don't even know if you'll see this. I don't know if you watch my channels. I probably annoy you enough as it is, but I love you so much. And I think I'm gonna go. I got some stuff I gotta get done. And again, remember to like and subscribe if you like what you see. If you don't like what you see, then I don't care. then don't watch. But every time you like or dislike a video, it helps me out for engagement. So thank you. Anyways, you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.